I'm Sani Ismail, and I returned to Singapore in 2013 after living in the UK for 17 years. After a bit of time away, you do miss home. And for me, I felt that I want to come back home and I want to contribute. I didn't need much persuasion, I just felt, okay, the time is right, I want to go home. And I was missing nasi lemak too. In my teens, I was involved with the PAP Youth Wing. I think that's when my passion for politics sort of started. During my time with the PAP Youth Wing, I was fortunate to be able to represent Singapore in the first East Asian Young Leaders Congress in 1994. And I was also part of the PAP Youth Wing delegation to Jakarta for a meeting with the then Golkar government also in 1994. Subsequently, I went for national service, and immediately after my ROD, or as it's called ORD now, I left Singapore for the UK for my studies. And then when I came back to Singapore for good in 2013, the interest to be involved in politics is there. And I think primarily it's about the interest to serve. So I very quickly assimilated myself with the local environment again, got involved in grassroots organizations. A friend of mine, he's still in PSP, he rang me up in 2020, round about the time, just not too long after PSP was formed. He suggested to me that I attend the PSP sessions or join PSP, but that was a very difficult time for all of us. It was the COVID situation, so I had lots on my plate. So I turned him down politely, but I kept continuing to observe the political landscape. And the situation now, I feel like Singaporeans want a more political balanced system. So when he rang me again in 2024, it was just like coincidence, and so I took up the invitation, and the rest is history. But what attracted me to PSP was I felt, okay, the fact that Dr. Tan came out of retirement. He did not do that, but he did that for a cause. So why can't someone like me, play a part and join him and his team to be an alternative voice for Singaporeans? Then I also looked at the ethos of PSP, which matched me. PSP has an environment where it allows you to speak your mind. It's fine to be different, it's fine to have different views, and this is something that I welcome. My job exposure in the UK was quite varied. I was working in in the private sector, and as well as being involved in a regional development agency. Every company, with regard to the ones in the private sector, I was in executive senior management positions. I vividly recall a huge challenge that I undertook successfully. That was like when it was several years back, the UK was facing labour crunch, and that was a company in the security industry. So I was appointed as the CEO, and my role was to transform the business. And so what I did was then to study the whole business, study the industry, and I took the big leap of faith for the company in directing it to move towards technology. And it was a big hit. So with regard to the Regional Development Agency, I was involved with negotiating different grants applications from the countries that had joined the EU to bring them up to standards or up to speed to the EU standards. I was also involved in the rejuvenation of a town. It was a mining town. Lots of business left the town when the last mine was shut. Crime then seeped in. So it became not very desirable town. So I was involved in the task force in terms of how to spruce up the town, to bring trade back in. West Coast GRC in itself, I was involved in walkabouts and door-to-doors towards the end of last year. I've been working a lot in Taman Jurong, which has come into West Coast-Jurong West GRC over the past, since 12th of March. And consistent with the feedback I received, I noticed that the amenities do look tired. If we were elected, we were looking into the demographics of the constituency and to study how to rejuvenate it, to make it one which is socially and commercially vibrant. Notwithstanding that the age group of the residents of Taman Jurong do comprise of the elderlies. And I think one of the ways is in terms of understanding what facilities or amenities could help them to get them out of their flats and to do some activities. So understanding what are the things that we can do to help them socialize and integrate and make them happy, not to make retirement or senior age time a lonely one. As an employer, we subscribe to the scheme by Workforce Singapore. Like the career trial is a great scheme, but I feel that sort of the implementation of it, therein lies the problem. As an SME, we are very lean, right? But the process of going through the career trial is quite tedious. For example, you have to apply for, or rather you have to post the job on the My Careers Future website. And then subsequently, one has to get that position approved, right? And then I think when there's applicant and you want to put the applicant through the career trial scheme, then you have to submit the information on another website. So I feel that it could have been streamlined. That's a great scheme. I wish we could continue supporting it, but it's just that the inconvenience of that, put me off. As an employer, I mean, okay, what I set for myself is not something I would set for my employees. My wife calls me a workaholic, but I actually enjoy working. I enjoy the pressures because it brings out the best in me. But again, that works for me, and I would not want my employees to have that. I'm fully supportive of the need to have a right to disconnect. I'm all for that because I think every single staff should have their own free time to spend with either by themselves or with their loved ones. I fully support PSP's manifesto in terms of to reduce number of weekly working hours from 44 to 40, because then the implication on that is that it will be a 5-day work week. So allowing the weekend, full 2 days of weekend for them to spend time in whatever they wish to do outside work. Statutory paid leave is I support the increment of it from 7 days to 14 days. And I also think that, every single staff member, there's life outside work, right? Families, loved ones, and so on and so forth. I take the view that happy employees, happy employers. If the employees feel that the company they're working for has their interests at heart and allows them the room for them, or rather the segregation of work and family, and I believe they'll be more productive, which will improve the bottom line of the company and staff retention. This is something I've seen in my organization, and it worked. And it worked.